we're going to lay on our sides now. So, lengthening your arm, lengthening your legs. You're a nice straight line, so go by the side of your mat. I'm just going to bend my arm, not got a great deal of room in here. Okay, so just pulling the abdominals in, taking the top shoulder back, so you're nicely stacked up, okay? Shouldn't be feeling like you're leaning forwards or backwards, okay? So just keeping yourself nicely stacked up, drawing the tummy in, just relax your head. You can have a straight arm or bent arm, just don't come up like this, that's all. Excuse me. Okay, so lifting the waist up off of the mat so you can feel your space between your waist and the mat. Okay, see that little chink of light under my waist. Okay, so drop the shoulder back, fingertips on the floor just to keep you supported. Top leg to hip height, and just take the leg around in a circle. So just using your hip joint, nothing else, keeping everything else as relaxed as you can. Okay, keeping your waist lifted, just drawing the tummy in, and try to lengthen the towel away from the top of the head. And try to always use your fingertips, try not to really press down into the mat. That way you know you're keeping yourself stacked. And just using that hip joint. And then you should start to notice the outer thigh. Keeping all that going. Just small circles. Drawing in 30% pelvic floor. And around your imaginary belt. Keep the neck and shoulders as relaxed as you can. And then what about going in the opposite direction? So just keeping that going, keeping yourself stacked up. You really test your balance if you take your arm up towards the ceiling. And let's do 3 more. Lower the leg down, lower the arms down. Keep yourself stacked up, okay? So you should notice the outer thigh. Let's bend the knees so the knees are in front of you. Okay, so keeping your pelvis as steady as you can. Draw the tummy in and tuck the towel under. So a little pelvic tilt. Keep the pelvis steady. Hand on hip and remind you to keep the pelvis steady. Keep your feet together. Lift and lower that top knee. So in other words, don't roll all the way back, okay? Don't roll back. Keep your pelvis steady. It's just your hip joint. Noticing that outer thigh. Little tuck under, okay? Stops you arching your back. Keeps the back protected. But also you'll notice your bottom a little bit more. So we're just going to keep going with these. Try and relax the neck and shoulders. Opening and closing that knee. Just feeling the outer thigh. Keep that pelvis tilted under. And then what about if you want to, lifting both feet from the mat, opening and closing. But again, try to avoid rolling backwards. That's looking like you're doing it, but actually what you're doing, rolling backwards, your knee just follows. Whereas if you keep your trunk on the floor, side stays on the floor, and open and close that knee, you'll notice a massive difference. Keep that little tuck under. You can always put your feet back down if it's not for you, if it's too intense. Let's do 6 more. And lower down. Let's give the thigh a good old rub. Okay, we're going to roll over onto our fronts. Actually, before we do that, we ought to pull the knee in, rest it on the floor, give it a bit more of a stretch, pull it right into your chest. Then we're going to roll over onto our fronts. Okay, so you don't really need to see my legs too much, so I'll move down a bit. Excuse me. So hands are on the floor, so elbows are in line with your shoulders. So I'm laying down, but I look like this, not like this, like this. Okay, your arms are quite wide apart, elbows in line with your shoulders, and just rest your forehead down on the mat. Okay, so you've got enough room for your nose, so you've got a nice long neck. Now, really draw your navel in towards your spine. Okay, so as if you're trying to pull your tummy away from the mat. And direct your towel away. Relax your feet. Heels just slightly drawn together. Okay, you're going to inhale as you exhale. Press into your hands, pushing up, just looking towards the end of the mat. Inhale, lower down. Let's just keep that going. So when you lower down, just place the tip of the nose on the mat. Lifting and lowering. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. And just extend the arms as much as you can. So if you've got your arms too close to you, you won't be able to lift up too high, okay? So elbows in line with your shoulders, lifting up and then going down. Don't allow the back to arch. Draw the towel away, pull the tummy in. And then what about lifting up? Look one way, centre, other way, centre, and then down. Let's do that again. Just do a few more of those. If you feel you can come up a bit further, take your hands a bit closer, okay, then you might come up a little bit more. You'll start to notice the elbows and the upper arms. Well done. Have a little rest. Elbows in line with the shoulders again. Just the tip of the nose on your mat. Draw the tummy in, direct the towel away. Now this time you're just going to keep your arms rested on the floor, so you're not pressing into them. Really lengthen the towel away, draw the tummy in. You're going to inhale as you exhale. Draw your face and chest away from the mat, but don't press into the arms, so you could lift them if you wanted to. Inhale, lower down. Just keep that going. Don't arch the back. Keep the towel directed away. Keep neutral spine. Okay, so lengthening through the spine. Shoulders down. Keep the neck long. So just try to avoid looking up. That's using the neck. Okay, what we want to do is draw the tummy in, direct the tail away, lift up and lower down. And we just keep that going. Doesn't have to be very high. Let's do two more. And then just have a rest. Keep the towel directed away. Okay, now what we're going to do this time is as we lift, we're going to lift the arms and then lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. If that's too much for your back, just make sure you're drawing in your abdominals. Make sure you're directing your tail away. If not, if it still hurts, just keep your arms on the floor, lift and lower like we did before. Those of you that want a bit extra, let's lift up, extend the arms so the hands meet, bring it back and lower down. Let's keep that going, no dog barking in the background. Lower down, keep that concentrate on keeping your tail directed away. Let's do 3 more. And lower down. Let's push back into a child's pose. So bottom on your heels, reaching forwards as much as you can. If that stretch doesn't work for you, perhaps if you just do a cat stretch. And then come back to neutral. And then a cat stretch. So just tucking the tail under. And we'll just do one more. And then we're going to do the other side. So, lengthening your legs, making sure you're stacked up. Push your head on your arm. I need to move up a bit. Okay, so you shouldn't feel like you're leaning backwards or forwards, okay? Should be leaving a little gap between your waist and the mat. Top shoulder is back. Top leg to hip height. Little circles just from the hip joint. So remember, it's not your ankle, it's your hip joint. Okay, just have your hand there for a bit of support, nice and slow. You can bend your arm if you want to. I'm going to. Taking that leg round in a circle. Now if you feel like you've got pretty good balance there, arm up to the ceiling, keep the waist lifted, draw the pelvic floor up, pull the tummy in gently, 30%, no more than that is required. Let's go in the opposite direction, so changing the direction of your circles. Can you feel your outer thigh? Let's do 3 more. Lower the legs down, lower the arms down. Knees are bent. Okay, so tuck in the tail under, so a little pelvic tilt. Okay, pull the tummy in gently, feet together, or hand on hip. You're going to keep the pelvis steady. Open and close. Open and close. Now remember the rule, we're not turning the body. You're keeping the side of your body on the mat and just lifting and lowering that knee, keeping your feet together. Little tuck under helps to stop the back from arching. Can you feel your outer thigh? Should be along here. Now for those of you that want to, you can lift both feet. Again, remember not to move your trunk. Let's do 6 more. And lower down. Give your thigh a rub. Pull the knee in towards your chest. Give it another rub. Okay, let's just have a little lay down on our backs. Both knees together, arms out by your sides. Drop the shoulders, keep the knees together. Take both knees as close as you can to the floor, keeping the opposite shoulder on the mat. Turn away from your knees. Bring the knees back to centre. Let's take them over to the other side, looking in the opposite direction. Keep your opposite shoulder on the floor. Let's do that once more each side. go. You're done.